So, this is a video I wasn't planning to make. In fact, I didn't plan it that well to the point where I don't even know what I'm going to do for this. I don't know if it's going to be edited. I don't know if it's going to... It's probably going to be edited. You know, yeah, it's going to be edited. As for the background, what about we have a picture of Stampy to the left, making the pog face. And then to the right, we have a picture of me with certified ear on top, with me wearing cat ears when I was in high school. Oh, we can do better, it's fine. Oh, you know what, we'll just put Dirtface Camisile here, and we'll be fine. So anyway, you'll be thinking, what is this video about? Well, then you obviously haven't read the title, or the thumbnail. We're talking about Exorcisters, which is the last archetype we built for Grand Creators. You know, that deck builder set with, Isekai the deck, and funny space dragon made from psychic energy or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. But you'd be thinking, Zane, why we're talking about Exorcisters specifically instead of the whole set? Well, one, I wanted to, and two, they're a rank 4 archetype, I had to. So we're going to go through this whole archetype and pretty much explain why Time Thief is going to be the best call for this deck. Yep, alright, let's move on. We've got the first one, which is Exorcist Elise, a level 4 light spellcaster effect monster. Stats doesn't matter, you're not really going to be keeping these on board. You can... So, if you control an Exorcist monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then, if you control an Exorcist Stellar, gain 800 life points. This is something they have all in common. They have to... If you have another specific Exorcist on the board, you get 800 life points. Weird, but okay. And then, pretty much... Yeah, and then a secondary effect they all share is if a card leaves, or leaves any graveyard by opponent card, you can special summon an Exorcist XYZ from your extra deck using this card as control as material. This is treated as an XYZ summon. So you can make one card XYZs using the Exorcisters on the condition that a card has to leave by their opponent's effect. But it can be your graveyard too. But it specifically has to be from your opponent, which is a weird condition in my opinion. Why does that have to be an opponent's card? Why can't it be anything else? So yeah, this archetype is looking to counter the graveyard without being a good graveyard counter archetype. So what really it's trying to be is pretty much Gravekeepers again. In my opinion, is that, you know, Neck Valley is still the best graveyard stun card in this game. And we've got an archetype that instead of going, hey, you know, instead of stopping you from doing that, what about we let you do it, but we get benefits from it. So it really just depends if those benefits are worth it or not by letting your opponents having the graveyard. But yeah, its main effect is if you control an Exorcist monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is really good. Do I have to say that's really good? I mean, you control a monster, you can summon this from hand, make a rank 4. Really good way to get the balls rolling. Obviously, a free off could also be interesting with Time Thief because it says Exorcist monster, so that could work into the XYZs. Therefore, you can just go Time Thief combo, make redo do make the second Exorcister, make an Exorcister XYZ, then go into making a second Exorcister. So yeah. See, there's Time Thief energy. I'm not forcing it, shut up. I'm not desperate. Anyway, the next one is Exorcist Stellar. During your main phase, you can special summon one Exorcist monster from your hand. Then if you control an Exorcist Elise, gain 800 life points. The B that special summon an Exorcist from the hand, really fucking good. The problem is this card array has to be on the field, but who cares, that's another way to get a rank 4 on the board. So this deck has 2 really good rank 4 enablers already. And of course it has the same effect with the, you know, any card leaves graveyard by opponent's effect, Yet again, it's just a really good enabler. It's not as good as Elise, but it does the job. Then next one you got is Alina. So this one lets you return an Exorcist card from your hand to the bottom of the deck to draw a card. And then if you control an Exorcist Sophia, get the 800 life points. I mean, it lets you cycle your cards. Okay, probably still a mandatory free off because you will need as many Exorcist rank 4s in my level 4s in my opinion. So anyway, his companion card is Exorcister Sophia, who you can control another Exorcister monster. You can draw a card. If you control an Exorcister Alina, get 100 life points. Consistency boosting. It's yet again probably a good card to summon off of Stella, or it yet again works with Elise. So the main four has a lot of good synergy in my opinion. Alina, maybe not so much, but Sophia, Stella, and Elise have all the good synergy effects in my opinion. What will make or break this archetype, in my opinion, is the rank 4 lineup. So let's start with the cover card that's making it onto the set. Exorcister Mika I can't pronounce it. All you need to know is Elise in armored form. It has quite good stats for rank 4. These are light warriors though, so they won't benefit from having spellcaster bonuses. We should be fine. Unless you want to play, I don't know, the A forces. Yeah, that's the thing. If this card was XYZ summoned previously this turn using an Exorcist monster as material, very important. Quick effect, you can target one card your opponent controls or in the graveyard, banish it. So you got a graveyard removal effect, that's quick effect. But I think that only works during your turn. I mean, quick effect, you can use it during their turn, and yet again, this deck does enable you the ability to summon them during your opponent's turn, so it does work. But that's really it, you only have it for that one thing. It has a passive effect, of it cannot be destroyed by battle with monsters that were special summoned from the graveyard. Okay, counters zombies, and decks that summon, mainly zombies, that's the main thing. Graveyard summoning isn't, with graveyard summoning is prevalent, but Konami does a lot to make sure it doesn't really does much. But yeah, having that protection effect is okay. And the most important effect is you can attach one card from this material, add one Exorcister spell trap from your deck to your hand. So this is your back row searcher. So in other words, its value will be tied into the fact if it has anything, good to search in the back row. Apart from that, okay, you have a effect that will get rid of a card. Like banishing, that's a really good form of removal. Not many decks can recover banished cards. And it has a really good stat line for rank 4. It has the 2,500 attack with 1,800 defense. Okay, it's a pretty okay card. It searches back row. Yeah, outside of being a beat stick and having a back row searcher, it really just depends if that back row is worth it, in my opinion, to justify it. But don't worry, we have like 3 more Exorcist XYZs to go through. So, if this one doesn't make it, the other ones will. It's also very important to note that this one is generic. It has 2 level 4 monsters. I just noticed that. But I'm pretty sure the rest of these aren't generic materials. Oh, there are 2. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Making sure they're splashable. Thanks, Konami. Anyway, the next one is Exorcister Capalispitella. I'm not going to try pronouncing these names anymore. This one is a little bit more weaker, 2,300 attack and a really shit defense stat, but who cares? If this card is XYZ summoned during an Exorcister's monster as material, activate this effect. Neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyard for the rest of that turn. That's a really good stun option. Yes, again, it's only for that turn, but holy shit, you just get to say, no. You can't special summon from the graveyard, but let's be honest, you most likely will see value from summoning this from the graveyard more. Apart from that, it has the same passive effect where you can't be destroyed by battle with monsters with the same that were special from the graveyard. And then you can attach a material from this card, add one Exorcist monster from your deck to your hand. So we've got the consistency booster card. I like it. Yet again, the fact that it doesn't let you special summon monsters from the graveyard, okay, bit of a handicap there, but if that's only if you use Exorcist monster as material. So really, if you do it right, I think you can go Redoer, Capstilla, then search one of the Exorcists that special summons themselves, summon that, and then you either can go into another rank 4 from there, or leave it on the field, and then if they do anything during your turn, you just get to have another rank 4 then. So yeah, I am justifying this video in its weight and I will not be putting that much editing work into this video at all. Because after this I'm gonna have to edit another video. So yeah. Exorcister Gibberine. If this card is XYZ summoned previously this turn by using XYZ, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the rest of this turn. Okay, we have negation. That's a really good card to just be able. Yeah, it's a bit slow because you're gonna have to. I mean, you have to first summon it on chain, and then you have to then hopefully be able. I think you understand where I'm going when I try to say this, but yeah. You can attach one material from this card for the rest of this turn. All XYZ monsters you control will gain 800 attack. I like that, and of course it has the same passive effect. I will presume to say all of them have it. Yeah, the next one does too as well. Okay, so apart from the fact this thing is more of a defense wall at 2,800 defense compared to its 1,400 attack, being able to boost all XYZs on the field to 800 is quite useful, especially when you combine it with, I don't know, Time Thief Hack, a Time Thief Redoer that can attack directly. I'm just saying, this could be a very interesting play. Anyway, the next one is Exorcist Elise. This one has more balance stats, 2,100 attack, 1,800 defense. And then if this one is summoned using an Exorcist monster's material, neither player can activate card effects in any graveyard. So there you go. You have a one-turn Necro Valley on a rank 4 body that needs an Exorcister. I honestly still think I would rather play I think I still would rather play how do I put it? Necro Valley. Yeah, I think I would rather still play a Necro Valley. You can attach one material from this card, then target one monster your opponent controls, return it to your hand. A generic level 4 that can detach a material and bounce a card. Yes, it's targeting, but I think that's really good. What I really like is that these other two XYZs, yeah, they're a bit situational. I mean, okay, one of them is a bit situational, but I do like how they are splashable. So yeah, I do like that a lot. Okay, so we got. Let's go for the lineup of the rank 4s. We got the Back Row Searcher, we got a Monster Searcher, we have a Attack Stat Booster, and we have Targeted Bounce. And that's if you're just using them as splashable cards, but then in that case only 2 of them would be useful outside of an Exorcister engine. Then if you include the fact they use Exorcisters, then we got a removal, we got a stun, the ability to not special summon from the graveyard, we got the ability to negate a card for a turn, and the ability to make sure your opponent doesn't activate any graveyard effects. So, okay, they're alright on paper. I'm excited to play around them, but I think what we have right now, in terms of the monster lineup, the deck could do something. I mean, I haven't really been throwing the meta, I haven't really been doing much with Yu-Gi-Oh! But I'm excited to see what these these sisters will do in future. And we got 3 back row cards we need to just go into now. So this will make or break the fact if their boss monster's effect is worth it or not. So quick effect for Exorcister Amitor. You can only activate one card with this card name once per turn. You can only activate this card during your turn unless your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the graveyard. What's the point of making it a quick effect then if I can't use it during the opponent's turn? Wait, you can only activate this card during your turn. Wait, I'm confused by this phasing. Okay, so... Alright, so you can activate during your turn. Okay, good. But unless your opponent controls it, then that's the point of being a quick... What's the point of making a quick play if it's still conditional? Let's see if it's actually worth it then. Pay 800 life points, then target one Exorcist monster you control. Special summon from your active deck, one Exorcist XYZ material monster with a different name from the monsters you control by using that monster. Okay, so you're giving us the ability to pretty much mass hero change our Exorcisters. Okay, I guess that's okay for its effect. To make it only during our turn, doesn't change the fact that this is going to be really fucking good. Jesus. Okay, so we have the ability to exchange our current XY's Exorcisters. That gives it more viability to the effect, I'm not gonna lie. You can just go, oh, I need a different Exorcister. Boom. I'm interested. I want to say it's a free off. It is highly searchable. It is also very useful. We'll see. We'll see. Next one is continuous spell Exorcister Carpe Bell. See, this is why I shouldn't have a series where I read card names. I can't pronounce them. Anyway, you can only use the second and third effect of this card once each per turn. Yes, bang, that made sense, it's fine. Exorcist monsters you control cannot be targeted by monster effects from the monsters that were special summoned. Okay, so we have a blanket protection effect. So it's for targeting. So non-targeting by monster. Yeah, well, I mean, okay, I guess I can't really complain. It's protection, targeted protection. Well. Let's see what the rest of this card has. If you XYZ summon an Exorcist monster, you can declare one card name. For the rest of the turn, negate the activate effects. Oh, yes, Prohibition! Holy shit. When a card is declared, when an attack is declared involving your Exorcist monsters, you can target one spell trap. Back row removal. Targeted, yes, okay. You have the ability to Prohibition someone. And you get targeted protection. Holy fucking shit, that's a 2-off. I mean, because yet again, it's searchable. I really don't want to see this card in my hand. Yeah, because it's searchable, I think it's better at 2-off. And now we finally got the trap. Pay 800 life points. Do I have to even say his name? It's Exorcist Elise. Can I just read this effect? Pay 800 life points for the rest of this turn. After this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck. Let's say Exorcist monsters. I will special summon 2 Exorcist monsters from your decks, but shuffle them into the deck during the end phase. Gimmicky, but I like it. It's pretty much, if you know your opponent's going to do some extra deck something, or doing anything funky with the extra deck, well, I mean the graveyard, why am I saying extra deck? For the graveyard, you can just go, boom, I can now summon 2 Exorcister XYZs on your turn. Or, if you can just be weird and just, one XYZ Exorcister. Please don't. Please don't. And of course, just because Konami knows what they're doing, they're also reprinting Ties of the Brethren for this set, which makes sense. They'll thank for spellcasters that would really need that Ties of the Brethren to make their board consistent on their own. Overall, Exorcisters, in my opinion, has a lot of synergy with Time Thief. We've already talked about some of the combos. I will probably make a Gimmicky Tech at some point if they do end up being, best way to put it, underappreciated. Yes, that's the term we use on the series. Underappreciated. If they turn out underappreciated, I would not mind giving this the proper treatment and, proper Gimmicky Tech treatment. This is more like, I don't know, a gimmicky review. We'll go with that. So yeah, I'm excited for what Exorcist will do. I'm excited to see if they do get any form of serious post-release support. I mean, did anything? Biss got that one card. It's fine. Anyway, Exorcisters, I'm giving I don't know, if I was to give it a score, 7 out of 10. It's a promising XYZ deck. It's crippled by the fact that it's relying on your opponent to interact with the graveyard. I mean, most decks do, but I don't know, it doesn't seem something you want to do. It has actually quite interesting card art, and it reminds me of Battle Sisters. Shit, it reminds me of Oracle Think Tank. You know what, fuck it, 1 out of 10.